Hello and welcome to the channel, and this video being part 2 of the compact build of the 3 foot by 2 foot model railway. As you can see, I've got the track all working now with my little Ruston going around with a couple of wagons. So this video is just going to go through what the plan is for the design of the layout. As you can see, there's a bit of writing on the board and a few buildings. And then it's going to be ballasting the track, just the loop. I'm going to leave the points and the sidings for now, and just in case I change my mind on what I'm going to do with them. But as you can see, everything's working. So if I just change this point, and that's going to hopefully then go into the sidings, which will be the coal yard. So that's going in there quite nicely, and as you see, I'm having no problems with the points, even though these got a small wheelbase. And then as you can see now, I've changed the points back over quickly, and got the bigger Ruston now going around in the opposite direction, and it's all working well. So track's all good, so that means we can now move on to ballasting, and then we'll see how far we get with that. But really pleased. I'm only using a basic Hornby controller right now, but I will be changing that eventually to a Gauge Master, so they're just more reliable and actually better. But for now, let's move on to the plan. So the plan is to have a road crossing here, to allow vehicles to get onto the middle bit of the layout. Some sort of road coming off. This is going to be the coal merchants. So as you can see, I could fit plenty of wagons there and a loco. And then this, if you've been a member for a while, you'll recognise from my previous layout. So really nice kit built piece, which will go there. And then going further up the road, we'll have, I think we're going to have a field here, maybe a farm potentially, or just sheep, cows, something like that. Then we're going to have a car park here. Coming around this side, this will be my station area. I'm going to have to build something here, get a piece of wood, build it up so it's the right height for the track, but it'll be on the curve, so it'll fit in 2 of my Hornby 04 coaches, and I like it. And then got a scale down building go on there, and then round this side we'll have the little depot. So we've got the loco shed. Dropped this a few months ago, so I'll have to weather it up and put some plants on it just to hold all them details. So we'll have one of them, and then we'll have maybe some coal there or something to go in there, maybe a shed and some old bits and bobs, just make it a bit dirty. So that's the plan. And then on the corners, gonna have a field here. I think I'll just have to keep that fairly flat. This one we're gonna have some trees, and then on the opposite 2 corners we're gonna have a hill on this side, raise it up, have a bit more height, and then here we're gonna have this connecting still, that'll be a bit of road as well. So that is the plan, what I have in place at the minute. It's not set in stone, but it's just a rough idea I have, especially after listening to feedback people have put on the channel from the previous video about making it more sort of a coal merchant sort of colliery sort of scene. So, but I wanted to have a station there just to mix it up, so I don't want to add too much, but I want enough to add enough detail in. So I think the next plan is to make sure the track's in place and it all working nicely, and then I think I'm going to add potentially the ballasting first, and then we'll have a look at doing the other bits and bobs. So I think ballast will be the first job, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to attempt to ballast the layout now. So I've took all the buildings off. So this is just Gauge Master and ballast, just simple one I've used on all my layouts, to be fair. Can't think of the code now, but you get a bag for about £5, I think it is. And then I always tipped it out into something slightly smaller, so if you accidentally tip it all out, it's not too much. And then just going along the track, I pour it in between the sleepers and try and split it out quite fairly. And then with a brush, all I'm doing is brushing it into the gaps, and then pushing any excess further down the track into more sleepers. This whole bag will be plenty for this layout, so it doesn't cost much. Ballasting just is all about taking your time. So if I show a close up now, as you can see, it's roughly in the correct place, and then I'll go over that later with a smaller brush and just tidy it up. But now I just need to do the outside of the tracks. So again, with me yellow tool, just going around and just spreading out the ballast, and then I'll go over it with my brush again. I'm just using a paintbrush for that, just to move it around, try and spread it out fairly even. So got quite a bit to do, so I'm not going to film all of it. I'm just going to film this section, and then I'll show a picture of when it's all done, after I've done this bit. So if I just show you more close up, so that's how it looks so far. So it looks quite neat, but I just need to go over it now with a smaller brush and just move certain bits of ballast which are not settled nicely, or I've got a bit too much in certain areas. So all I do, I'm going to get a smaller paintbrush, and as you can see now, I've moved the bits off the sleepers, so there shouldn't really be much on the sleepers. Obviously, in real life there will be bits on the sleepers, but when I put the glue all over it, some of it will move anyway. But if I can start off quite nicely without that. And also I've added a sleeper into the gap, so there's no missing sleeper now. So the way I keep my ballast firmly down to the track is the way most people do it. So it's water, tiny bit of fairy liquid and glue, mix it all up and then put it onto the track. I've done this with most of my methods. Some people spray the track with a light mist of water first. I haven't done that in my last two layouts. I did it in my first one, but it's not really made that much of a difference. So there's my fairy liquid, bit of water, and put my glue in, mix it all up, and then away we go. So this is just PVA white glue, and this is, I think, from Poundland or Asda, so it's only cheap stuff, nothing fancy, and that does the job quite nicely. So we'll come back to me putting it on the track in a minute. So when the mixture's ready, all I go is get a syringe and then go over the areas where the ballast is, and then this will seal it in place. My glue's not actually the best at the minute. I think I need some new one. I've had this for a long time. I think it's going a bit firm, so you can see like I've not mixed it up very well either. So that should dry clear anyway. But just make sure when you do this, you mix your glue mixture quite well, not like I've done here. But you just go over it. So I think I'm actually just going to pour it over, which I shouldn't really do, but which should be all right, hopefully. And then that seals it all in nicely in place. So now it's all sealed. I've gone over it with a small brush again and just moved over some of the loose bits of ballast which had moved. And then when you're fairly happy, I recommend leaving this for 24 hours. So I've done mine in the evening, so I'm going to leave it overnight and then come back to it the next following. And then a couple of days later, I finished the outside loop, and as you can see, it's still drying. But that's basically how I ballast the track. So it's looking good. It just needs to dry, and then I just needed to make a final decision on what I'm doing with the sidings, and I can ballast that. But it's looking quite good for now. So thanks for watching this video, and hopefully you've enjoyed and learned something potentially. And hopefully see you in the next one. Thanks for now.